One of my favorite animation series to react to right now is Nightmare Tales Japanese Urban Myth series. Every single story he's put out so far from it has got to be some of the more interesting tales that I've heard. And this one is about Baku, the Dream Eater. Sounds awesome. We're going to get into it now, guys. Make sure to subscribe to his channel and mine if you like reaction videos. And let's get into this video. Baku, the Dream Eater. This is his 8th video. I've done quite a few reactions to these on this channel and the SCP channel that I was reacting to before, but just check around. I'll have a playlist as well. So Shadow's creeping on him. He's running down the hall, and is this a dream?
Naoki woke up, covered in sweat.
Oh my.
Another nightmare.
I sweat a lot too.
The third one this week.
And I have nightmares, but not...
He looked around his room, pulling air deep into
like
his lungs as he took in the surroundings. He was safe, but shaken. As is tradition for young children in Japan after a nightmare, he then chanted for Baku, the Dream Eater.
Oh!
According to legend, the Baku were created from the spare pieces of elephants, oxen, and tigers left over from when the gods had finished creating all other animals.
Wow.
Every time Naoki called for him, he never materialized. But the fact he had at least done so made him feel somewhat better.
Okay.
Still not enough to fall back to sleep. This time, however, was different.
Okay. Baku
As he stared
came
into the darkness of his ceiling above.
Ah, there it is.
He saw him. Baku had arrived. Baku bent forward from his high perch above and opened his mouth and nostrils unfathomably wide as he began to inhale the night air. And along with it, Naoki's nightmare.
Wow.
A week had passed, and Naoki had been sleeping much better. He was more alert at school, and could better enjoy the time with his friends after.
Interesting.
Baku had served his purpose well,
Yeah.
and by this time, should have moved on to assist another child with their night terrors. However,
So why is he staying?
appeared he was stuck. Something had gone wrong, and Baku was trapped with Naoki, and unfortunately, getting extremely hungry.
Uh-oh.
Unbeknownst to Naoki, he was soon to be exposed to a series of horrible and unfortunate events.
Uh-oh.
The first
This ain't
occurred the
good.
very next day at school when Naoki was asked by his teacher to go down into the school storeroom and retrieve a box of textbooks.
Okay.
He reluctantly agreed and made his way downstairs to the basement. He hated this place
It was
and found the box
spooky.
quickly so as to not spend any more time down there than necessary.
Right.
As he neared the stairway, a large huntsman spider dropped from the ceiling and landed directly onto the box he was carrying.
Oh my god, dude, I hate spiders.
Terrified,
I'm not an
Naoki
arachnophobe,
dropped
but...
the box, and just as the spider leapt up at him, the
Oh!
lights went out.
Bit
Naoki
him
freaked
on
out
his
and ran
face?
upstairs screaming, his arms flailing in every direction as he
Oh
tried
my
to flick
God,
the
dude.
spider off him.
I have never.
He returned to the classroom empty-handed.
The
and
teacher's
was
mad.
chastised by the teacher for wasting time
Bruh.
and acting like an infant.
The teacher... The spider
The
jumped
next
on my
event
face,
occurred a few
teacher.
days later when Naoki was crossing a busy street on
Black
his way
cat?
to school. A black cat was in the path of an old man cycling past him, which caused him to veer
superstition.
directly into the oncoming traffic and
Oh,
under the
no.
wheels of a delivery truck.
Oh, and he saw the accident? Oh my
Naoki
god.
witnessed the entire event and instantly went into a state of catatonic shock.
God dang, I
Hours
guess so. A
later,
kid seeing that?
He awoke in a hospital alone and afraid. He screamed out for someone to come and help him, which he heard echo down the cold, empty hallways.
So he's gonna start having bad
His attempt
dreams.
to get out of bed was thwarted by a nurse who eventually entered the room and did her best to assure him that everything was okay.
Right.
Eventually falling back to sleep, Naoki
Nightmares.
suffered from incredible nightmares caused by the trauma of the day's events.
Of course.
He awoke with a start and chanted for Baku to come to his aid, which
Baku's
he did
Baku's
within
gonna show
seconds. Baku immediately devoured the nightmares, so quickly in fact that it left Naoki reeling, and he passed out from the intense feeling of dizziness and nausea.
Wow. Baku's getting more aggressive,
Having
man.
no idea how long he had been asleep, An odd sound akin to a baby's rattle woke him. It was coming from behind him,
Okay.
and he didn't want to look. Still, knowing nothing good was going to
You
come
have
of
to,
this,
man.
he couldn't help himself and felt compelled to turn over. He closed his eyes and rolled his body over to face the doorway. His cold sweat made him shiver as he slowly opened his eyes and stared disbelieving
Oh
at the
my
young
God.
infant that stood in the doorway.
Are you still having nightmares?
Empty black ocular cavities drawing Naoki's attention.
Oh my God.
That was, until it put out its hand to reveal its
eyes.
two
God.
bloody
That's
eyeballs.
nightmare fuel.
Naoki shut his eyes and screamed loud and long enough for the night shift nurse to come running. She settled him down
That
once
was another
more,
nightmare.
and then wasn't out of the room for a second before Baku was back over Naoki,
Oh
feasting
man.
on his fresh fears.
That's
The
terrible, dude.
series of frightening events continued until Naoki was no longer afraid,
Ah.
and Baku was no longer satisfied.
Uh-oh.
It was then that Baku began to feast away on Naoki's hopes and dreams.
Oh
This
no.
left him an incomplete shell of his former self, where he went on to live an empty and insignificant life.
Wow.
Uncaring, uninspired,
That's
emotionless.
awful. Oh no. Oh. Bruh. That's so sad and terrible. Like, alright, so, I've never been a victim of night terrors more than an occasional bad dream, right? And as a kid, I would have some recurrent stuff, but never to the point that it would haunt me for the days after that. I just begged whatever was out there to take these bad dreams away from me. I did pray, but Baku's a little bit different than most of the spiritual things that people pray for relief in trauma like that. Oh my God, man. That's horrible. Just getting your life and your soul and your hopes and your dreams just sucked out of your body. This is a good animation and story, though. Guys, make sure to subscribe to Nightmare Tales, as well as a couple other videos that I reacted to from him. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.